Alright lads, welcome back to InsideMC, the podcast where I sit down with an amazing guest bi-weekly. And this week I'm joined with someone who is very, very cool. We're both attending TwitchCon EU and this podcast is coming out a week after, but we're recording this a week before. I don't know. I'm going to be talking a lot about it. I'm sure it will as well. This week I'm joined with Krowfang.
Hey.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I don't know. I'd never do podcasts, so this is going to be very fun because I love getting asked stuff and talking a lot.
When you say never do, does that mean you never have done or like you haven't done in a while?
I haven't done it in a while, and honestly, whatever one I have done was so long ago that I can't remember, and I don't want to say that I've never done a podcast, and then someone that did a podcast with me 2 years ago goes, hey, that's not true, and then I feel bad. So we're just going to run with it. It's been a while.
It's been a while. But you're here today, you're on the InsideMC podcast, and it's going to be an amazing talk as well, so...
Shout out InsideMC.
Thank you. Before we get into talking about like the main interview and talking about you and all that kind of jazz, I always like to give the introduction for you to introduce yourself. So who are you? What do you do? If you have a fun fact, it doesn't have to be about you. It can just be something you know. Anything. Sure, cool.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Krowfang. I do Minecraft storytelling and general storytelling, and I upcycle clothes. And people know me for my black and red hair mostly. And my fun fact. You really put me on the spot with that one.
I mean, if you don't have one, I have my filler fun fact for the people who don't have one. So it's okay if you need to.
No, what kind of people use the filler fun fact? Like there must be something in my brain somewhere.
Oh, let me. Okay,
my fun fact.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh,
no.
I had Wingstop for the first time today.
Okay. Why?
Have you ever had Wingstop?
Why? So I mean, there's like Wingstops. Like I know where like Wingstops are in England. But I have to be really careful about what I eat with my stomach. So, for instance, with like chicken shops, if I eat them, even if it's at like 12 o'clock on a Monday, I'll be completely fine the rest of the Monday. And then when I wake up on a Tuesday, I'll have a severe stomachache the entire day. No, I haven't, sadly.
Damn. Well, it kind of just happened. Like I didn't even pay for it. It kind of just fell into my hands, you know. And it was fine.
Did you enjoy it? Where would you rank it? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best?
Well, I guess my fun fact is more that I love cooking then, because this is quickly going to turn into me being like, I hate ordering food because I love cooking. I just don't make content about it really. But I would say Wingstop, scale of 1 to 10. In the general food scale, like a 2, but in the takeout scale, like a 6. Does that make sense?
No, I get that, yeah. It's a bit like, I mean, I've changed over recent days. Like, I mean, more so over the last, like, 2 months. Like, I used to, like, every time my mom said we were getting takeout, something I'd be like, oh, yeah. But, like, yesterday, for instance, I ordered takeout because, like, I could have cooked. I didn't want to. But I didn't want takeout either. Yeah. So it was like a double-edged sword. I got takeout in the end, but I was genuinely scrolling through and I was like, I don't want any of this. But I got it because I was running late and there was an event going on. I was like, oh, I need to eat something before the event. So
that's why meal prep will forever be the go.
True. What's some of your favorite foods to cook?
I really like cooking Spanish cuisine.
Okay.
Like Mediterranean, because that's what I grew up eating. So whenever I'm really sad, I just make some nice, like, you know, what I would eat as a kid, and then I feel fine about myself. Yes, I've had empanadas.
Love empanadas.
Me too. I don't think I've ever made. Have I? I don't think I've ever made them, but I do like them. I will appreciate a cheeky empanada if there's like authentic ones around.
Me and my partner, because she's Argentinian. Like we made empanadas, but the thing is, we didn't want to do it like through the whole like making the dough and bread stuff. So what we did was we made empanada and we just slapped it in like what's it called, like fajita wraps. It's not quite the same, but it was nice. Like we followed the inside recipe, and it was good.
Right. I'm literally only gonna get you I'm only gonna let you get away with this because she's Argentinian. So I can't say anything, but that's the only reason I haven't left.
To be fair, she wasn't fully too happy with the idea either. But I was like, okay,
she wasn't.
We could make all the dough bread, but can we be bothered? And I convinced her just to slap it in.
Oh my god.
What about like cooking wise then? So like have you got like a specific dish that is your like go to, like, yeah, this is my when I want to cook food for someone, this is my dish that I make?
Ooh, okay. It's a funny one because I make like a mean mac and cheese. I don't know what it is. I just do, but I can't eat it. So that's how I know it's good, because people ask me to cook it for them when they would come to my house. and I'd be like, I can't eat it, but I'm happy to like make this for you. And I would make an entire tray of this, like, there's like tuna pasta bake, mac and cheese, like the kind that you bake, literally like 5 Tupperware boxes for all my friends, being like, there you go. It was like I'm packing like a school lunch for my 25-year-old friends to like.
Wait, why can't you eat it?
It doesn't agree with my stomach, but
okay.
I make a really nice paella, which is a dish that takes a lot of practice to get right. I love that we're talking about cooking, because I never talk about this.
That's my favorite dish, by the way, what you just said.
Really?
Yeah, so I pronounce it paella. I know it's the British way of saying it.
All right, yeah.
It's just the accent. It's the accent.
Yeah.
It's the accent.
Yeah.
Paella. Yeah, is that how you said it? Paella?
Yeah, I'd rather you at least try.
Paella, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Basically, my mum cooks it. But because it's so like long to do, like you said, like it takes a lot of prep. Even when just cooking, it takes a lot of prep. I only get it once a year, and it's on my birthday.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it is properly your favorite.
Yeah. As in like I would love to have it more, but I eat it in restaurants. But like, do you know how like there's that special cooking from like parent, like how people love your mac and cheese? Like it's like my mum's paella is very like, I like it a lot, even if it's not. I don't know if it's the right way of making it or not, but it's good. So. Oh,
I'm glad that because paella is from like very specifically where I grew up, so I'm glad it's touching hearts across the globe. Not that I invented it, but
and I'm putting in the effort to say it properly, so I care.
And you are. So it'll taste better next time you eat it. That's how it works.
Weird question. Do you drink coffee?
I do. Yeah.
So I'm a barista.
Oh.
Right? But I don't like coffee, so I don't drink it.
Oh.
But do you know how like you said it's good because people are asking for it? Whenever I go to like an interview, they go, "Oh, do you want a coffee?" And I'm like, "No, sorry, I don't drink it." And I'm like, "Oh, but you're a barista." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I've never had a complaint about my coffee." So, that's how I know it's good.
That probably, that kind of makes you stand out, I guess.
Yeah.
Really, not any kind of coffee. There's not a drink, like, you're a barista. I give you an entire full coffee making area. You can make any drink imaginable. You wouldn't make any? There's nothing?
Well, I'd make like a single espresso to make sure that the machine is calibrated properly.
Like a mocha, like a glamorized hot chocolate coffee, like nothing.
No, because I like hot chocolate, but the coffee just adds a bit of like mist.
Wow. And why did you become a barista?
I was by accident, and I kind of just stuck at it because I was good at it. Okay, I signed up to this one job, right? And I won't say the name of it, but when I searched up on Google, it said like you'd be making coffee for people. No, it didn't say that, sorry. It said you'd be doing stuff for people. So when I searched up the company, it was like a photography company, right? When I went for my interview, it turns out that I searched up the wrong company, and this was a new company with the same name or similar name. And they was like, "Oh, you'll be making coffees." I was like, "Oh, I'll give it a shot." And then like 3 years later, I'm like, "Oh, this is actually a really easy job." So I was like, "Oh, just stick at it."
Funny.
Okay, I'm kind of sad that we left the cooking thing. I feel like I'm leaving an awful stain on my reputation already.
No, I think this is all interesting. And also what you just said reminds me of me, because I went into the medical field because I kind of had to by accident as well. So you being like, I don't even like it for real. It just kind of happened. I was like, damn, that was what happened with me with the medical field. So we're getting a lot of like common, like we've got the paella, we've got the good at something that we don't indulge in, that we accidentally ended up in. Like we're on the same path here. This is really impressive.
This is great. That's what I love about the podcast. It's like because I talk to so many different people, and obviously we've never really interacted before. Like I've watched your content, but we've never actually had a conversation like this. So now we're sitting here, we're like, oh, we actually have a few similarities. Not being like, oh, we're gonna become best friends after this. I'm just like, it's just funny, like when you talk to someone new and you're like, oh wow, I've never met you before, and we know like we're, like you said, we're kind of similar in that sense.
Yeah, it's fun. And like you said, we're gonna like hang out at TwitchCon soon, so we're gonna immediately have this ground.
I am so looking forward to TwitchCon, by the way.
Me too. I've been like annoying on stream about how excited I am about it. It's like all I've been talking about.
Yeah, I think
we basically hit May, and I was like, I can't wait.
I have a panel. I'm in shock.
Oh my god,
it's so cool. It sadly clashes at the same time as your panel, though.
Oh.
Not the panel that you're on, even. I'm surprised you're only on one.
That makes me sound really cool.
Okay, your panel, the panel that you own, the panel that you organise.
Thank you. Yeah, my panel, the panel that I did all the work for, and especially me. Especially I did I did not do all the Yeah.
Okay, we're kind of okay. This is definitely going to be a podcast where we kind of just jump around from conversation to conversation, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. No, like I told you, this is the good thing. Like it's an interview, but for the most part, we are just gonna yap, right? Which is nice. Yeah. I like these kind of podcasts.
Yeah.
So, are you bringing any of that mac and cheese to TwitchCon or?
I mean, it might be a bit gross by the time I get to the Netherlands.
When are you going in?
I'm getting there on the 29th,
Same day as
so
me.
a little bit earlier.
I'm going in on the
And
Friday.
then, I'm going in on the Thursday, which is fun. I always do look like Thursday to Monday, and if I'm feeling really cheeky, I do Tuesday. But most of the time, it's kind of been like you can barely afford to go. How about we just go when we can?
Yeah,
but this year I'm just going Thursday, Monday.
I do Friday to Tuesday, so it's kind of similar to you. But
all right.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, for me, I would try. Like, I always try to avoid getting it on the Friday because the partner party's on Friday, and I don't want to be like, okay, I'm too tired. I don't want to go. I'd rather just get there on the Thursday, fall asleep, wake up the next day, do a bit of tourism, and then spend 5,000 hours getting ready, go party, get drunk, wake up hungover, and then go to TwitchCon. Like, that's the dream.
Yeah, I'm not a partner, so no, I don't get to experience
one day.
that, sadly. One day. I'm working towards it, me and my few viewers, which is great. I appreciate every single one of them. It's lovely.
Yeah, it all starts with a few.
Exactly, true. I mean, I've been at it for a while, to be honest, but it's kind of my own fault. Like, every time the thing is, working full-time is great because I'm getting money for it. The issue is, so I was streaming quite a lot during COVID. This is the part where I told you before the podcast, I'll talk about myself sometimes. During COVID, I did quite well because obviously COVID numbers, all that kind of jazz. And then, fresh after COVID, I got a job, and then I left that one, and then that's when I started the podcast at that job. Then when I left that one, I got this other job, which was when I accidentally became a barista. It was like a night shift job. The content just died for like a year. And then when it returned, it was great, but I hadn't streamed in like 8 months. And then when I came back, I decided to start doing 2 podcasts a week, which was amazing because I got to talk to so many people, and that's what I love doing, if that wasn't obvious. But then that meant less streams because then I have to edit 2 podcasts a week. So now I'm getting back into it again, and like I'm getting people to come and watch and stuff. But then now as I'm starting to get people to watch, I'm not really enjoying playing Minecraft too much. So I've made a new account to stream variety because I don't want to stream variety on my main account because that's not what I grew on, and it feels a bit dead. I know it doesn't matter, but it's just in my head it's better for my mentality and to keep me
you want like a fresh,
yeah exactly.
I understand that.
But yeah, I'll get there at one point. But I mean, the thing is, I don't
you've got
much.
You've got the summer views coming up.
True, yeah. I've got to be entertaining and actually stream a lot, which is
the hard part's going live.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, it's like it really just depends on the day. Like I tend to nowadays stream a fair bit with people in the call. Because it's like, I mean, I've been having active chats, which is great, but at the same time it's just that safety net of if chat does go quiet, then I can just yap to the person I'm in a call with. Like I couldn't record a podcast on my own. I couldn't go live and do a live podcast where it's just me talking. So I'm like, this is why it's nice interviewing someone, because it's kind of the idea, right? You don't really do a solo podcast.
Yeah, who would do a solo podcast? Weird.
I'm guessing you've done a solo podcast before.
I do them on my Patreon. What do I call them? Oh my god. I think I just call them monologues. I think I just... I'm like, this is my weekly monologue. And then eventually I was like, maybe I should reshift this into seeming more like a journal. But I would basically just pick a topic every week and just yap about it for like 10 to 20 minutes. It'd be all different kinds of topics. And there's a whole backlog of them on, my Patreon, not to self-promo, but...
Oh, please. It's your podcast. People are listening to you. Promote all you want. I don't care.
But no, it was fun, and then I decided that I think doing more of a journal makes sense, because you kind of do run out of things to talk about if it's just you monologuing once a week, and you don't want to, like, Google topics to talk about to yourself, because what are we doing? But yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad thing, it's just like you said there, that was my main thing, is if I record this now, I'm like, I like doing the long podcasts, like, if we talk for ages, that's very much my cup of tea. But, like, I couldn't just go onto the podcast and yap for an hour about anything. It's just nice to have someone there anyway. It's just to talk to, really. Like, this is just a conversation. It's part interview, part just me yapping to you. So it's great.
Yeah, don't worry, Orbits. I'll sit here and yap. It's okay.
Lovely stuff. Okay, back to TwitchCon. Got any plans?
Plans. I mean, I've got my panel, the panel that I alone have done, just me on the Glitch Theatre. No, I'm really excited about the panel. Me, AMZ TV, Tubbo, and Orange Juice TV, and Beckyamon are doing for our show No Dice, which is just our D&D live show. Live show? Yeah, I guess D&D live show. I'm really excited for it because it's my first time ever on the Glitch Theatre stage as well, which is like the big fancy one, like the one they do like MCC on and stuff. So
it's on that.
I mean,
the Twitch Rivals Arena.
I don't. Isn't it the same thing?
Did I just kill your? Did I just kill your? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no. MCC's on the Twitch Rivals Arena, but the Glitch Theatre is still massive. Like, it's not where MCC is, but it's a massive. I'm trying to put it together. I'll believe it.
But oh no, yeah. You're right. I remember now. You're right. It's not where they do MCC.
It's still massive.
Is better. It's still huge. It's how you use the Glitch Theatre. Okay. In terms of plans, otherwise, I mean, I don't know. Like outside of the convention, or
just in general. Like while you're away, maybe on the build up, like this week. I mean, this is coming out after it happens, so it might not even not be the thing. But still, it's cool to talk about regardless.
I mean, for me, pre-TwitchCon is always like stressful because of the element that I hand make my outfits and my clothes and stuff. So I also leave everything really last minute. So it's just my ADHD, really. I will be like, I have this idea for an outfit, but TwitchCon's like happening in like 3 months, so it's fine. I don't need to start now. And then it gets to 2 weeks before, and I'm like, wow, I should probably start that soon. And then I end up doing it all the night before. But I've been staying in Brighton before I fly out to Amsterdam, so I've had to like pretend that TwitchCon happened like 2 weeks ago for me to try and get things done on time. And while that's mostly been successful, I do still have a couple things left to make, which I'm doing tomorrow. So for me, TwitchCon prep is mostly just me sat with a sewing needle and some thread and some fabric and a prayer.
And you have that where you are now?
Yeah, I packed all of my like clothes making stuff because I had to. Because I was like, I'm not finished. I need to bring it with me.
I have a really strange question. Until you hear the full thing, it's gonna sound strange. Okay? Right?
Okay.
Just go with it. Just go with it before you judge.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Are you staying in the same hotel as last year? This is why I'm asking you not to judge before we go to the full thing.
I don't remember where I stayed last year. Oh my god, where did I stay last year?
I think I know where you stayed.
What's happening?
Okay, there's context. I'm going to give you the full context after I tell you, okay? It is one of those long-winded ones which sounds so weird until you get it and it sounds normal. I'm going to mute on the podcast because I don't want to say it.
Okay,
because you'll see why.
The answer is no, because I've never stayed in the hotel I'm staying in.
Okay.
But where did I stay last year? Why do you know this?
I'm going to get to it. I'm muting it just to see. Last year, did you stay in...
I can't remember.
Okay, I'll give you the context. All right. There's a reason why I'm saying this. Okay, so I think it was day...
I'm scared.
I think it was day 1 of TwitchCon, maybe day 2. It was either the Friday or the Saturday, right? So I went to TwitchCon with my partner, and I'm going with her again this year. Right. Well, we get off the train, and we're walking back to our hotel, and we walk past this person with very, very good style, right? Same hair as you. You know, like, it looks a lot like Krowfang, okay? Right? But at the time... I only knew you a little bit, right? This was a year ago. I was still kind of getting into the community. Didn't really know who Krowfang was properly. So I turn and look at you, like on your phone walking. I look away and then we walk past you. I turn to my partner, I'm like, was that Krowfang? And that is the only time I saw you the entire convention was like right outside my hotel. So that's why I asked a very strange question.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, like I've been waiting so long to tell you this story. Genuinely,
oh my god.
Like I've made sure to keep. I had it wrote down as well as something to bring up just to make sure I remember to tell you this because it was just like, oh,
yeah, like, you let that marinate. We've been in this VC before you started recording. We've been here like an hour. You've been really letting that.
I was like holding, but it's funny. It's funny to hold on to. So.
No, it is funny. That is funny. Hey, you've surprised me.
But yeah, I was like, it has to be Krowfang.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, I'm not sure. I didn't want to turn to. I mean, there's not many people who like have your kind of style, right? Like you stand out very much, like in a very positive way. But at the same time, I didn't really walk up to some random person who wasn't wearing a TwitchCon badge and go, you Krowfang? So,
I mean, it was probably me, to be fair.
I think it was. But the fact that you don't know what hotel you were staying in is kind of sad, because it had to have been one of the 2 that I mentioned, or somewhere in that area.
Oh no, I was at an Airbnb.
It must have been in that area, because why were you just walking down the street there on your own?
I was probably meeting up with, hang out with friends, etc. I probably wasn't just walking around like a loser.
Well, no, I mean, I think you was. I thought you was on your way to the convention, if I'm honest, because you were going. You were going towards this train station where we'd just come from, so it looked like you were going to make your way there. That's why I just assumed you're staying in that area. Damn. I don't know. Either way,
that's funny.
What's your favorite part of TwitchCon?
This is really specific, but I feel like we all ask each other this question so much, and I'm going to hit you with it in a second. But
okay.
For me, it's the overly emotional parents of viewers. Because meeting fans and stuff is always so lovely, and we all say my favorite part's the fans. Yes, we love our fans, and I'm so grateful every time, and I try my best not to cry the entire convention. But there's something so special about when there's I can just paint this picture in my head of mother and then anxious teenage child or anxious teenage son, daughter, whatever. And then the mum's trying to coach them to come say hi to me, and I have to kind of gently be hey, nice, do you want to take a picture, do you want me to sign your badge, whatever. And then the parent takes me to the side for a moment and is I just want to say thank you, when they're having terrible times and I hear them laughing, you're what's on their screen. And that's the bit where I'm oh my god, I'm gonna cry, please stop. It's always the very niche, overly super polite parents that are I just want to say thank you, because what do I do to them? I'm just a guy.
I just stream.
That's always the bit that really sticks with me and always gets to me. Because it kind of, I don't know. I think you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah,
it's very emotional.
That's really sweet. I mean, I can't say I've experienced it myself, sadly, but that does sound really nice.
Yeah. Well, what's your favorite part? What's the
right? Okay.
What's the Orbit's TwitchCon highlight?
All right. So this is a long-winded take. Sorry, I like talking a lot and really taking ages to get to my point. So with TwitchCon itself, the convention is cool, but I don't really enjoy the convention. I went to Paris. That was my first one. I did a round trip. We went in the morning, came home on the same day.
Wow.
And yeah, we literally got the train at Eurostar 6 a.m. and then got it at 8 p.m. the same day. It was fun. I enjoyed it. But the convention itself, and same as Rotterdam, is feels really underwhelming. Last year, I didn't go to any of the booths. This year, I'm planning to. I think, I'm more saying what my favorite part is in relation to what I'm about to do, as opposed to what I did last year. Is this year, I really plan on kind of making better connections, not as in networking the entire time. I mean, TwitchCon is kind of what that is about, but last year I hung out with people and it was really cool. But I'm doing this thing this year, and not to put you on the spot, if you're interested, I'd love to have you. Well, I'm doing in-person interviews, so 1 minute, 2 minute little TikTok clips where I stand next to someone and ask them 3 or 4 questions. Yeah, I started out a tweet on the InsideMC account, and I got 35, 40 people interested, and I'm planning questions for 40 people who didn't show they're interested, but I feel would probably say yes. Again, It's only if I bump into them. I'm not planning to meet this person at 2 p.m. or whatever on a Sunday. It's just going to be if I'm walking around and I see them, I'm going to be oh my god, can I do this? Yes, no, okay, so I think that's my favorite part. Is yes, okay, nice, that's very cool. I think that's my favorite part is the meeting people, and I figured out that I can just kind of talk to anyone. So do you know how you were talking about the parents coming and putting you to the side and saying thank you and stuff? So at TwitchCon Rotterdam last year, I'm not going to say their name, mainly because I think I might be misremembering the username now because it's been a year. Some guy comes up to me and he's are you Insane Orbits, InsideMC? And I'm yeah, hi. And he goes, can I get your interview and autograph? Sorry, first time anyone who isn't a content creator has asked for my autograph, right? First time a fan has ever approached me. I'm right. Yeah, and they knew InsideMC. They said they enjoyed the podcast, or kind of just. I went, yeah, of course, yeah, blah blah blah. And then they went to walk away and went, oh, sorry. And I said, what? I said Ajax is here, Mighty Brothers, Rory Animates. There's a few other content creators who you know of who are here. Do you want to meet them? And he went, yeah. So I literally just walked up to 4 or 5 different content creators with this guy I just met and be they know you. Can I get your autograph? I just talked to them the entire time, and then in the end, I was they was oh, thank you so much. I was but there's more people. Freeberries is over there. Let's go to Freeberries. No, I'm okay. I went, all right, okay, cool. And I didn't think. I just kind of said let me just take you around to everyone because they're all here.
That's so sweet. You brought the parasocialism to them. You were we're friends now. Come meet the gang.
It's I went to watch a show the other day. Do you know about Live Aid by any chance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to watch the show. I think it's like A Hero for One Day or whatever his name's called. It's a theatre show, right? Anyways, during the halftime thing, where I go into the toilets and they're gender neutral toilets, and there's like, so it's like just all stalls basically, and there's like a massive queue, and there's this guy standing behind me, and he's kind of just standing there, and we're kind of just like, we keep clashing eyes, but like by accident. So because we were there for so long, I just turned around to him and was like, so how are you enjoying the show? Never seen this guy in my life. We're in the queue to go to the toilet, and we just start yapping for about 10 minutes because I asked him about the show. And it's like, I think it's kind of part of my anxiety. Like, I have undiagnosed anxiety, so my way of dealing with it this year specifically has been just talk to anyone. The worst they're gonna do is ignore me. Like, no one's gonna turn around and like if I go to TwitchCon and I try to talk to someone and they like brush me off, oh well, the next person's gonna talk to me, you know. So
yeah, I mean, I think that's a really good strategy. As I yap to strangers all the time. Like,
it's so
some of my friends who are more anxious have said to me, like, can you stop doing that around me? And I have to be like, oh, sorry, because they get like scared. I don't know.
No,
But
I get you.
I literally just yap to strangers, except if I'm in like London. Like, I do it in Brighton because people are generally friendly here and I can read the vibe.
Oh no, I don't do it in London.
But the amount of like, sorry,
I don't do it in London. No.
no, I know.
I live here.
Scary. Scary. No, I recommend just yapping to strangers, or you know, little things like asking cashiers like, oh hey, yeah, that's all, thanks. Just be like, hey, how's your day? Like, how's the day going? At worst case they say fine, thanks, and then you move on. Or maybe they'll like actually have a like little small conversation. But
Yeah,
I
like,
think it's very important for people to actually talk. You know, in a world where we're all on our phones, you know, it's that old chestnut. But it is true. So good for you for trying.
Thank you. And also at the same time, like, you can make someone's day. Like, I've worked in a job for a while, and everyone who came into me, like, I'd yap to them, and some of them like would yap back, some of them wouldn't. It's completely fine. But then it was such a quiet job, so that's why I did it. But then when someone came into me and was actively yapping to me, it like made my day. I'm like, oh my god, I've served pretty much no one all day, and you're up for a conversation. Love this. It's not going to suit everyone. Like, not everyone wants the conversation.
Yeah.
But like I went to a museum with my partner and my granddad, and she was joking before I say what she was about to say, what she said. But like I was like walking around smiling, so like all the people, like they're all older people, because it's a museum, they're all like volunteer older people. They all just kept approaching me and talking to me, and I kept approaching them and talking to them. And in the end she was like, can you stop smiling? And I went, what? She's like, because people keep coming up and talking to us. I don't want to keep talking to people. I'm like, oh my bad. And she told me to stop saying the story, but I don't care, and she's probably going to listen to this, and I don't care, I'm still going to say it. She was just like, can you stop smiling at people because they just all keep approaching you? And I was like, but like, I like talking to people. I own a podcast. This is what I do. Sorry, I feel like I've done a lot talking about myself. Apologies. Sorry.
No, we're having a conversation. We're literally talking about how important it is to have a conversation.
True, yeah, true. What's been your like favorite interaction? Have you got like a favorite interaction with someone? Like that's some of my ones that I've brought up. Do you have one of your own?
I'm sure there are some. I've just at this point I've had so many, which I think is such a blessing to say.
It's good
about it. I don't know. I think all the ones that have like turned into friends, like from random strangers on the street, that were then like, you know what? Let's just exchange information.
Oh.
And they're people that like 3 years down the line, I'll still just randomly bump into or talk to. I think stuff like that's always my favorite, because you know, a tiny little compliment to someone that is on the bus with you turns into 3 years later you're like partying together.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any specific. I find it hard to remember.
I think that's a good example. I think that's a good example though, like the little compliment leading into partying and all that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
And I know I said it a few times, and we'll get into talking about it soon, but your style is like, it's so good. Like, it is really cool. And the fact that you handcraft it yourself is like, because so I have someone who helps do research for the podcast. They said that you were one of the hardest people to research, so that was fun.
Oh my god!
But as far as we're both aware, and I could be wrong, you buy like secondhand clothes from like Vinted and stuff as well, right? Like,
yeah.
Just design them. I wonder if you've ever bought anything.
Yeah,
from me.
I never. Sorry.
I sell on Vinted, so I wonder if you've ever bought anything from me.
Oh my god, that'd be really funny. I mean, since moving to the UK or England, I've been able to go to charity shops, so it's honestly been more charity shops than Vinted. I think I've ordered on Vinted only for like the commissions that I do, because that's really specific stuff.
Yeah.
But when I lived in Spain and I wanted like alternative clothing, and I've never well, not never, but when my frontal lobe developed a little bit and I went, actually, I quite like the planet and don't want to, if I'd rather buy things secondhand, why would I make the world suffer to make me something brand new when there's something I like that's already had a life, blah, 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 blah. So then I discovered Vinted and that I could just order cheap alternative clothes that I like that I can then add more onto. Like, I think when I realized that you can just buy secondhand clothes and make them cooler and know that you can put literally whatever you want on them, it's like a whole world opens and you're like, wow, why am I the only one doing this, guys? Which I'm not. But I don't know. I never ever buy brand new. I just don't see the point anymore. And also it's so expensive. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. There's a bit of a tangent there, but
no, yeah, it's right. It's right, yeah.
But yeah, no, you're right. I buy everything secondhand and then make it into something.
So every piece of clothing you've worn in the last like few months or so, they are all handcrafted.
Well, not like every single thing.
Okay.
Like right now I'm wearing a graphic tee that I haven't done anything to. It's just like cozy. But I would say a very good chunk of my wardrobe I've at least done something to or fixed at the bare minimum. But I don't honestly upgrade my wardrobe that much. A lot of the clothes I've had since I was like 15 buying stuff on Vinted because it just lasts. But yeah.
I can't remember the last time I bought a new t-shirt. Like, I mean, I bought some new trousers the other day because they were nice. But like, other than that, I can't remember the last time I went out and purchased like a t-shirt isn't, thing. If you notice a cut, don't worry about it. Nothing happened. We've been talking this entire time. I don't know what you guys are on about. About the clothes, because this is what I remember we was talking about, because there was no cut at all, right? So, what has been your like favorite design that you've made, or like favorite piece of clothing? Like I have a t-shirt my partner bought me from Urban Outfitters. First ever time I've wore a piece of clothing from Urban Outfitters, because I refused to shop there for some bizarre reason. She bought it for me like 2 years ago, and it's just become my favorite t-shirt. Do you have one like either that you've purchased or that you've made or anything like that that's just your favorite, or even lucky, if you have a lucky piece of clothing?
I mean, I have a few things that come to mind with like luck and making, but I think thinking of like favorite shirt, I don't know if this counts, but I've had this like, I call it a silent tradition, but I've been talking about it quite a lot recently, so I feel like I'm not allowed to say that the next 2 times. Like I have 2 more times of calling it a silent tradition before the gig's up.
There was definitely not another cut. Slander to Dirty in Pain.
No.
Please, if you're curious, all slander can go towards them, okay? And this is
yes, please.
Thank you.
Can't lock a door.
Can't lock a door.
Or at least quietly.
Right, what's the silent tradition, speaking of quietly?
Yeah, my silent tradition. So when I first visited Brighton, oh my god, it's actually quite a long story. There's a store in Brighton, and I'm going to do a quick call out here. Please forgive me. There's a store in Brighton called Tough Tarts, which is this like alternative, like quirky store. But if you have like half a brain and kind of know what's happening, you can tell that it's all just from like Shein, AliExpress. Like it's all just £2 fast fashion, horrible quality, like upsetting designs, rip-off place basically. But I talked to the owner about the business model because they had some like cheap, I call it like designer alternative brands, which is just the more expensive side of alternative brands. Like people know Trip NYC quite a bit nowadays, so things like that, like these £300 trousers, brands like that, they would sell, but sell it for like 50, 70-ish pounds, so ridiculously cheaper than online or anywhere else. So what they do is they up price the like fuck out of cheap items. Like they'll buy a bunch of shirts for like £2 and then sell each of them for 25, but then buy some trousers for 200 and sell them for like 50-ish. So it kind of evens out, but it's still really scummy practice. And anyway, just making people aware. If you go to Brighton and you go, wow, cool alternative store. No, it's not. Don't go there. Anyway.
Thank you.
I fell for it. My first time going to Brighton, I was going down this like quirky area, North Lane, where they have all these cool shops, which is where the store was. And obviously it was my first time going to a city other than Madrid, so I was blown away by the amount of just stuff and how normal it was to be alternative in Brighton. So when I saw the store, I was like, oh my god, this is insane. Like I've never seen anything like this in my life. So I went in and I bought this I bought these red Trip NYC like pants, which are basically just have a bunch of pockets and chains, which I then upcycled and sold. But this shiny skeleton like crop top, and this was in like 2022, and it's just this little like gemstone like rib cage skeleton thing on a crop top, right? So I wore that as it was, and then every TwitchCon since then, so the past however many TwitchCons I've gone to at this point, I've upcycled that shirt in a different way to different parts of my outfit. So if you look at every outfit I've done, at least one of the TwitchCons, or at least one of my outfits every TwitchCon, there we go, it's the skeleton shirt is there somehow, and I just think that's really fun that every year I remember that this shirt exists and I managed to like yank it from whatever I've done the year previous and make it something else.
I love that.
So this year it's been complete, like the amount of stuff I've done to this poor gemstone design, and I'm now thinking that next year I don't know how I'm gonna, like, I don't know, it's just fun to watch every year me be able to make something out of it, but how it's slowly just becoming more and more broken because I keep pulling it apart and putting it back together, but it still works. But I think that's the favorite thing that I kind of have ongoing.
That's quite fun, actually. I like that.
Yeah.
I have like something slightly similar, as in, so the lucky, quote unquote, lucky t-shirt is just a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle t-shirt. It's just kind of become my whole thing. Like I have a fan art, or not fan art, I commissioned it, of like me wearing the t-shirt as well.
Are you bringing it to TwitchCon?
Yeah, and I'll probably wear it for the panel.
Hell
as well.
yeah.
I wore it for Paris in 23, wore it for Rotterdam last year, and I'll probably wear it again this year. So.
Oh my god, this happened again. Your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt is my skeleton bling.
But you customize yours. Like you do like little like different changes to it to make it more fun. Mine is just wear the t-shirt. So it's not as fun.
Hey,
but it's cool.
There's no shame in that. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's plenty fun.
I actually have a and I think you probably know about this. You probably already know to do this, but I'm gonna say it anyways, just in case anyone's listened to this and has never thought of it. Because you know, you was talking about how they like buy things for cheap and then sell it for more, kind of jazz.
Yeah.
What I keep mentioning my partner a lot. Sorry, it's just she works in the conversations. She taught me this. Is you go into a store, you see something that you like, you take a picture of it, and you walk out. Okay. And if anyone, I've only ever been questioned once as to why I'm doing it, and I just say I have a friend who lives local and he might come and buy it. And that's it. Don't question it, right? So if you go in, you see this t-shirt, like, oh my god, that looks so good. I actually know. Okay, I get a better example. There's like a shop near where I live, and they sell like all these like different type of statues and stuff. And I can't remember what figure it was. I've sold it off now. But I found this one figure, and it was in there, and it was selling it for like £30. I went, that's so cool. And my partner stops me. She's like, let's take a picture of it and we'll come back. And I went, why? She's like, let's just do it. We walk out the store, image search, Google, £20 with delivery online. I saved £10.
Ooh,
and like, it's just a good thing to do, is just take a picture of what you want to buy, and you can most likely, even if you can't find it on like thing, eBay has the feature now where you can search images. You can probably find on eBay. I know a lot of people pride themselves in having stuff that isn't secondhand, but like what they don't realize is that if you're not buying from like a quote unquote official store, most things normally are secondhand nowadays. So just buy it. If it's cheaper on eBay, you save yourself some money. If it's in good condition, bang. If it's not, then don't get it. You know, you're saving £10-15 sometimes. So
yeah. Hey, I'm Krowfang and I promote this message on InsideMC. Get stuff secondhand. It's good for the planet. It's good for your wallet. It's good for the soul. And I don't understand why not everyone does it. Commission
Krowfang, because they can turn something the secondhand into something that's limited edition, one of a kind, at Krowfang.com. The name in the title.com. That's where you should go and commission custom designs.
Wait, you know my website?
It's my job to do research. I don't know everything about you, but I know enough to do a podcast, which is good. But I'm learning a lot.
Yes,
I'm learning a lot. We weren't joking. Well, I wasn't joking when we said it was kind of hard to do research, but I've learned a lot, which is really, really cool. And that's why I love not knowing so much as well. So
I'm happy to yap. I do think it's really funny that I'm one of the hardest to do research for, but it's also completely understandable because I think it's probably a bad thing as a content creator. Like, it makes it a lot harder for new people to kind of get into the spin of it. But I don't really have a backlog of content. Does that make sense?
You're like, okay, this might sound weird, but this is the vibe I get from you. Oh yeah, go on. You go first. You go first, and I'll go.
Well, I was gonna say, you either catch me when I'm there or you catch me next time. Like, you can't really binge watch Krowfang unless you just go through my really old VODs, which sure, but I'm like 16 in them.
Yeah.
I think I need to work more on making edited, like, you know, but
I think
I'm like a train. You catch me or you don't.
Yeah. The vibe I get, and this is slash pause in case it comes, it shouldn't come off any other way, but just in case it does, is like you're very much like old fashioned before the internet times. Like, do you know, like people who did like promotion for actors or artists and stuff, the reason they grew so well was because of word of mouth. Like actors would be like, yeah, this person's good at like promotion, or this person's a good manager to have, kind of jazz. Like I feel like, you know, when people talk about Krowfang, they go, it's amazing. Like, you know, it makes good content. Krow is very good at this, that, all that kind of jazz. And I feel like that's how you grow, is through more so word of mouth, is people being like, oh, I think that's how I knew about you, or how I found out about you. Like I knew the name, I'd seen you around, but I just remember talking to someone and they were talking about you. I can't remember who now. Talking about you, and then I went somewhere else and it was talking about like a bit of law SMP that you did, or something like that. And then I got into your content from that. Like I started watching streams. Didn't really know much about you, but because these people had recommended you, that's two people saying that you're a good streamer, I didn't watch you. I didn't find you through like anywhere else.
They recommended.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's the slash pos of it, is I think you kind of have grown a really good reputation of being like a trustworthy member in the community, or like just someone who's good at what they do, kind of thing. So
yeah, I appreciate that. And I do agree as well that I think a lot of my popularity, I don't know, is from exposure and word of mouth, because I really don't promote myself. Like I go through little hits of short form content, but they don't last longer than 2 weeks. So whenever I grow, it's normally through a new project, and then you get like an influx of people, and then some of them stay. And I feel like my career has just been this slow. Like every project I've been in, or every friend I've had, I've just kind of gathered a community from them, because I know that a lot of my regulars and a lot of the common names in my community and stuff just know me from other friends of mine. Like I appeared on their stream for 2 minutes, they thought I looked interesting, and now I'm like their main streamer or whatever. So I do think word of mouth is definitely how I've managed to survive this long.
I guess speaking of word of mouth, it's a good time to talk about SMP content. And I mean, unless you had anything else to say about your designs and stuff like that, did you have anything you wanted to bring up regarding that?
I mean, my brain kind of just, whenever I think about the clothing KFA side of things, I just, like, I have so many thoughts about it, because you kind of get the whole, oh, this is something I enjoy doing. Also, it's kind of a political movement, if you will. Also, it's like, I don't know, there's so much to it. But yeah, I don't really have anything else that I can think of saying, other than, guys, try buying clothes secondhand. And all you need to get started to make your own stuff is a black shirt or a dark colored shirt, the bleach your mum uses to clean the floor, and an old paintbrush. And then you can make a cool design on your shirt. Okay, we've all started there. I think the first thing I did was a bleach shirt. Okay, it's easy.
The thing is, as well, is like when I was in secondary school, I remember wanting to wear like designer clothes, like Nike tracksuits. And I remember I had this one brand, and I don't even think they do clothes anymore. It's called like Nicholson or something like that. I wore it in year 7. I just remember getting bullied. I got bullied anyways, but I got bullied so bad for having like this unknown tracksuit brand. And I think people like, once you get older, I understand when you're younger you want to try and fit in, and you want like when you're wearing your own clothes to school, you want to wear the best like brand, you want to be cool, blah blah. Once you get to a certain age, and for me it was when I was like 17, you realize that actually it's a lot more fun wearing t-shirts that have these wacky designs on it. And you realize when you pay close attention to it, people don't really wear the tracksuits or the designer stuff. Like I have Nike shoes. Yeah, shoes are kind of different, I guess, but like I wear like just some grey cargo trousers unbranded from Next, grey cargo trousers. I wear the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle t-shirt, and I wear a black coat, and that's it. And that's like, it's not crazy fashionable, but relatively speaking, people, if they're looking at you because you have this wacky design, they're probably looking at you in a good way as well. Like like how I've complimented Krow, they have this different kind of design around them. Oh my fucking god, I just corrected myself to make the same mistake again. Oh my god, I corrected myself and still fucked up.
That was cinema. No, please don't cut that. That's so...
Are you sure?
No. Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, Krow has this different design and it's very cool. I'm leaving it at that.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm just so used to. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I don't mind. Like I said, I don't mind.
You said it's fine to keep in, so no one can get annoyed at me as well.
Yes, okay, no one get annoyed. I feel like most of the time when it's like pronoun related and people are like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I use they them on you," and that's like the one thing you don't use. I don't really mind. Like, sure, I'm like, okay, well, you had 3 other options, but sure. But It's more so then you get the online people who are very like my personal pronoun police that I never asked for and don't pay, and they're just like, actually, that's wrong and you're terrible, and like I just want to avoid that for you because it's so long. You know
but in that scenario, like you said, it's a funny one because I purposely correct myself to make the exact same mistake 4 words later.
No, it's funny.
But yeah, your design is very unique. It's very cool.
In high school, just because you talked about the things you wore when you were a bit younger, my style was pretty different in high school to what it is now, but I've never had like a normal style. I feel like the moment I could kind of clothe myself, it was always a bit wacky. And in high school, I honestly most days look like a Final Fantasy character, which I've kind of lost now. Like I don't really wear those like badass jackets anymore because I've kind of like been there, done that. Like whenever I see these insane jackets I used to wear, I'm like, wow, that's so me when I was 16, but I don't go there anymore. But it's so funny looking back at pictures of me at that age and being like, damn, I look like I should have like a massive sword on my back and like kill robots. So it is funny to see how things change because now I wear little skirts and cool shirts and there's no sword on my back. Actually,
I do have something to pick up on this. It was in my mind to ask and I just never did. Okay, if you don't have an answer, it's fine. Is there a reason behind the red and black hair? Like, is there a reason for that specific style?
No, I mean, not really. I saw a very underwhelming answer, I guess, but I saw it on someone else and went, actually, I should be doing that. And then I did it. And that was when I was like 14.
Oh, so your hair's been like that for a very long time then?
Yeah, 6-7 years I've had this hairstyle.
Okay. And then what about the change in clothing?
Like why or?
Yeah, like as in, I guess people just change over time. Like I went from wearing tracksuits in secondary school to wearing whatever I wanted because I stopped caring what people thought.
No, I don't. I mean, like you said, just people change. Basically, just 6 years of becoming a person. And
now you slay every day away.
Hey, well. Someone's got to do it.
Pro, real. SMPs! Whoa! We love SMPs. You have been in quite a few.
Have I?
Oh, I mean, I don't know if you... I just have this vibe that you've been in more than what I wrote down. Again, research. I have Outsiders SMP wrote down, which we had a brief fun talk before the podcast about. You have recently joined The Realm, or as in The Realm is recent and you're on that. And you've been in a fair few PAL Creations projects, which I thought you was like... This isn't anything, so I think you was on it last year, but I thought you would have been on the panel this year for PAL. But you was on it last year, weren't you, or no?
I was on... I've never actually been on because PAL does most of the time panels of their SMPs. Like if they've done rats, they'll do like the rats SMP panel. If they've done pirates, they'll do the like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're doing rats SMP 2 this year.
The one that I was on was like a Minecraft storytelling one, so it didn't actually have anything to do with PAL. I don't think it officially had PAL in it. It was just Minecraft Storytelling 101, I think.
Okay.
And that was really fun, but it wasn't PAL related. So I've actually never been on a PAL panel.
Got you.
But yeah, I love the PAL SMPs.
But have you been in any more SMPs than the ones I mentioned?
The thing is, in terms of big SMPs that I think are impactful to the Krowfang name, I'm pretty sure that's all of them.
Got you, okay.
But every now and then they'll be like, my friends make SMPs, the kind that, last 2 weeks, that whole chestnut. So those ones, like every now and then, but I don't tend to stream them. And if I do, my community is well aware they're getting 1 stream of this, maybe 2, if we get a fun little 2-parter going. So I think the ones you've named are the only ones that I could really also name.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
But yeah.
Well, in your guest announcement, I talked about how you're a very talented storyteller. What is it that got you into that? Like, why did you start taking storytelling? What essentially got you so interested in Minecraft SMPs?
So I've kind of just always been a storyteller. Like whenever I get asked a question like this, I always say like when I was really, really young, like illiterate kind of young, like barely holding a pencil writing words, I had these little flip note things that I would write stories on, and I still have some of them. And there's one of this hungry stray dog who then finds a yogurt, who then the pound evil people try and get the dog, like really stupid ABCD Finn stories that I would just write. And then you've obviously got when kids have little figurines and they make stories with those. My room would always just be full of these figurines and like stuffed animals and stuff all midway through a story, and I'd get really upset if anyone moved any of them, because I'd be like, no, you don't understand, he's here for a reason. So I've just always had that in me. I don't really know where it's come from, because none of my families are writers or anything. I don't know, it's just always been a flame that's ignited in me. But when I guess discovered Minecraft, which was really early into Minecraft being a thing, like Minecraft, like insane early days, which then turned into me getting it on PC. I wasn't allowed to go on multiplayer and pirated.
So I'm cutting that out for your safety.
Okay.
I'm not cutting it.
I would get a bunch of mods installed. I was super young doing this, but my dad taught me how to like install mods, and I would do like the Minecraft Comes Alive mod, where the villagers get like personalities and names and genders and stuff. I don't know if you know it. And I would build these really ugly oak houses, like literally just big massive boxes.
Wait,
and
what?
Then just
Sorry,
make like Minecraft Comes Alive.
I don't know.
I think it's still around. You can basically just marry villagers and like they get pregnant. Like it's very
Minecraft.
I don't know.
I've never heard of this in my life. How have I never heard of this? On CurseForge is just a mod. It's a mod.
Yeah, it just gives the villagers like a life. Like
so it's like Sims but in Minecraft.
Yeah, you can like craft engagement rings, and you can attempt to flirt or compliment, or like I don't know. I haven't played it since I was like I don't even know how young. So
are you being honest?
I couldn't tell you.
You seem to remember a lot about it.
No. I mean, because it's all I did on Minecraft. It's why I'm so shit at the game that I've built my career on, is because all I did, or all I've ever done, is get villagers pregnant. I mean, make law. Make law. Make law. I meant to say make law.
Yeah. I get you.
So I basically just see Minecraft as this playground of you can make whatever you want, because I honestly don't have much interest in the actual gaming side of it, because once I realized there was a community that loves to just watch Minecraft lore, and then that obviously multiplied by 15,000 with Dream SMP, I was like, wait, I could do this. I could literally do this. I've been doing this. Give me a second. So that's kind of how I ended up here.
And now, all these years later, you're successful storyteller, SMP creator, and streamer.
Oh, stop it, you. But yeah, I suppose
love complimenting people, especially when they come on the podcast. You're giving me your time, so I'm full of happiness, joy, and compliments towards you. So, what's been your favorite piece of lore? There has to be something that you remember that always sticks in your head.
I really enjoyed my character Cuervo from Pirates SMP, and I always say that he is like the favorite that I've played as a character, and I think he was the first character that I had fully written out, and I fully knew who he was, where he was from, where he's going, what he's doing. Like I knew this character because I'm a big improver. I just will log onto a server and things will just happen. Maybe I have a small idea, but with Cuervo, I was like, no, this is going to be the most insane slow burn reveal ever, and I really enjoyed working on his character and getting people to fall in love with him. But then that was a bit of a lonely experience because it was also pre-recorded, but I've obviously also enjoyed all of the like improv lore I've done with my friends along the years, because it's so much fun to do what I love doing with friends that also love doing it. So I don't know, I'm always just happy to be here.
Have you never thought about like starting up your own thing? For instance, like there's White Pie and Pyro Cypher started his new series. Like, have you never thought about doing anything like that, like a little show or something about Minecraft or inside Minecraft even?
I have, and I kind of have, like, not really. I don't know if you ended up coming across Portals.
No, sadly not. Sorry.
No, you're good. I don't really talk about it because I'm really bad with, if I did things when I was really young, I don't talk about it because I'm like,
that's
guys,
fair.
don't look in that direction. You have an entire VOD series of it, but don't look. But it's up. I don't really know. I think I'm really conflicted about it, but it was basically years ago, like 2022, I think I did this when Outsiders was still happening.
Oh yeah, 2 years ago, Portals. That's it.
It was a single POV, extremely lore heavy, like no character breaks. Minecraft server, I guess. Like, I basically just got a bunch of content creators, most of which I didn't know very well. Like, I basically put out a casting call and then just checked out everyone and wrote down the kind of characters I think would suit them, and then got them all in a server and told them, okay, this is your character. If you want to change anything or don't want to do this, let me know. Otherwise, this is who you're going to play. And I made sure everyone had fun with what they were doing. And every episode was basically just, it was all live except for the cinematics, but it was heavily scripted, like bullet points of, okay, I'm going to start stream here. I'm going to bump into this person who makes me go here. And then this will happen. Like, it was very finely timed, but because we were all so in character but didn't know each other, it just flowed so well. I don't know. It had such a charm that I don't think I'll ever be able to replicate. And I'm so grateful to everyone that gave me their time for that project. And it's a shame that I just lost inspiration for it because it actually never got finished.
Oh.
And I'm trying to start up something called Chronicles, which is basically just a mix of pre-recorded and live, like pure lore, like a new Portals, if you will.
It's a sick name as well. I like the flow of it.
Thank you. It's difficult, man. It's hard. No one talks about how hard it is to get people to like come together in a VC and sort things out. But I don't know.
I hinted on, I talked a little bit about this on the previous podcast with Artemis. InsideMC is a channel about like interviewing people or making content about other people, right? As in like Jubilee style, if you must, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I do the videos, like the do all think the same videos or this, right? I edit it up to make it look like they're all together, but every single one of those calls are done separately. I'm working on a video that will hopefully be near to being done edited by the time this podcast comes out, which is like, I asked a bunch of creators to send me a 10-second clip and it was completely fine. I understand why a lot of people didn't do it because busy, TwitchCon build up, all that kind of jazz, right? Even that was hard. Like, I followed some people up like 3 or 4 times and never got a response, sadly, after them saying yes. Again, completely fine, not a dig. But that's hard. So I can't imagine what it's like organizing this big full-scale SMP or lore series or anything. It's so rough.
Yeah, it's hard with storytelling because I have tried to arrange, like, I won't name names at all here, obviously, because I don't want it to seem like, you know, like you said, you don't want to seem like you're digging at people. I get it.
Yeah.
But when I write lore, sometimes all I want is for like 4 characters to be in the same room at the same time and have a conversation. But sometimes it's just so not doable that you have to just do the most insane gymnastics of cuts and like you have to pre-record interactions and then splice them all together to make it seem like there's chemistry between characters that you never see in a frame together. And it's so exhausting and so unfulfilling for me because if I want the audience to believe that these are characters that have been together and know each other and have chemistry, because I don't know why I always end up in a situation where I do like prequels. So with Outsiders, I did a whole prequel stream of like, this is what my character was before it joined the maze. And then here's who it was before you met it when it was in the maze. I don't know. There was basically, I do a lot of flashback things. And in flashbacks, you want people to feel like the world is established. And that's really hard if none of said characters are in the same room. So it's all a bit of a nightmare, unfortunately. But hey, we do our best.
Content creators are great, but it's also very hard working with them sometimes.
Yeah, and it's because it's not a 9 to 5 that you never know when someone's working or busy.
Exactly, and also like these creators don't owe me anything, so it's not a dig. I'm not expecting people to reply to me or give me answers. It's more so just like, you know, it makes InsideMC a little bit harder sometimes considering the whole idea behind it. But it's fun. Yeah, it's fun regardless. I enjoy.
Yeah, I you know, you bring people together and stuff. I think it's really cool. I think it's a needed like hub of, you know,
I mean, it's an
archive. I don't know,
does
that make sense? Though, like people come together.
Yeah, but it's also like an archive. For instance, like in 2 or 3 years time, you know, if you want to look back on like, oh, what was I like 3 years ago? Well, InsideMC got you covered. So
yeah, you're giving the people what they need, which is a non-word of mouth Krowfang archive.
True. And also like, you know, people were like, oh, you want to learn more about Krow? Then, you know, I can tell you only so much, but why don't you listen to InsideMC? Just picking myself up at this point. It's crazy.
I still think it's cool.
Thank you. I have like I guess it's more of like a broad question. Again, if you don't have an answer for it, it's fine. So I noticed from looking at your VODs is, and I don't know if this was the basis of streams, but I'm just going to ask it regardless. So during Outsiders, as far as I'm aware, for the most part, you either didn't use anything or you used the PNG tuber. However, for Portals, you started using a face cam. What was the deal there? Why did you start deciding to kind of show your face online?
Oh, I don't... It's a weird answer because I honestly can't remember why I was ever faceless. because
It's just been so long
I
now.
never really talk about it because I don't really know what there is to talk of it, but I had like a weird TikTok blow up before I started being a streamer.
Okay.
When I was bored, like pre-Twitch times. And then when I started streaming, I wanted to have like a design, like a persona. Like before VTubing was big, or at least big to me, I was like, why don't people just make characters and play characters, but do it on stream? That sounds awesome. I'm going to get my friend to draw me a little character. Which is funny because now that's just what VTubing is. But like you said, I had the little PNG tuber, which were trendy at the time. Like, I'm not going to sit here pretending I'm the only one that was PNG tubing in 2021. Like, I'm not oblivious. But then I think at some point, I just went, why am I still doing this? Like, I have a webcam, I have a face that I'm fine with being public. Why? Why am I doing this? And then I just basically, I think, set the typical, face reveal sub goal, and then face revealed, and then my viewers went up like fucking crazy.
Yeah, people love
and
it.
And then I just never went back, because I think everyone was like, wow, you made yourself look like you're a PNG tuber. And I'm like, no, man, the PNG tuber is me. I've looked like this.
You're cosplaying
or people are
yourself.
like, wow, you made yourself look like your Minecraft skin. No, okay, I came before the Minecraft skin. But yeah, it's funny because I really do think back and I'm like, why was I ever faceless? I don't know.
Well,
But,
I only started using Facecam this year, so like my face has been out there since TwitchCon Paris. Like I was never afraid to be in photos or anything. I never asked people to cover my face. I didn't mind it. I just never really wanted to stream my face, just from like being bullied in secondary school and stuff. It just had a negative effect on me.
Yeah.
But it's the same way, by the way. I haven't confirmed this with him, but Wadebox is casting MCC, right? And I instantly knew he was casting MCC because he started casting tournaments. Right, so people just thought it was a random thing, but as soon as that happened, in my head was like, he's casting MCC. The reason I thought that was because as soon as I got confirmed for the panel back in February, I started streaming with a face cam so that I could practice and make sure I'm confident for the panel with my face being out there. And it was only meant to be like a short-term gig. It was only meant to be for like a month and I go back to PNG tubing. Still to this day, I'm streaming with a face cam. The only reason I don't do it for podcasts is because I really like the idea of just kind of being able to sit here in my pajamas, look a bit messy, and yap to someone who is also probably sitting there or is someone who is faceless. So it's the reason why it hasn't moved on to the podcast. But yeah, that's why I started using my face, was because of the panel, and that's kind of just stuck, as in I enjoy it. So
yeah, I'm sat here in my pajamas. I totally get it. I think there's a charm to podcast being faceless, because I think when there's like the only podcast I honestly watch, or I mean, notice the word watch in that sentence, is the Trixie and Katya podcast, The Bold and the Beautiful, and they have it recorded in this fancy set. So instead of me going about my day listening to the podcast, I sit and watch it. So I think it's a lot more of a routine, easier to multitask if there's no visuals.
Well, I mean, we do have visuals. Like there's an animation of us two sitting in a seat.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. There's not like loads going on.
Yeah, like that can sit on a second monitor comfortably, and they know that they don't have to like be observing it constantly. But yeah.
It's also why I don't do like the edits. Like people are like, "Oh, put this on screen." I'm like, "No, sorry." And they're like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because I have Spotify listeners as well." But like, I mean, I'll link stuff in the description on YouTube and stuff. But if like, I don't want people, because a lot of people will listen on their way. They'll like download the podcast or whatever. Or I don't always upload the video to Spotify straight away. Like sometimes I do after like a week or two, because it's just audio at first and the video comes after. So I'm like, if someone's like, "Oh, put this on the screen," and like 5 minutes in, I'm like, okay. And then the person who's listening on Spotify is like, "Oh, I want to see what that is. Let me go over to YouTube," and then they click on the YouTube and then they see it and they're like, "Oh, let me go back to Spotify. Oh, I don't really want to listen anymore. I can't actually be bothered, blah blah blah." Like I'd rather just, that's why I cut it up so that we're constantly talking as well. There's no silent parts to this podcast unless we're doing a bit, because I've just got this ideology that people are more likely to listen to it if there's no silent parts, because when I listen to podcasts, if there's a silent part, I zone back in and realize what I'm doing. But if there's no silent parts, I kind of start listening meaninglessly. Like I'm picking everything up still, but I'm not focusing on listening, if that makes sense. Because there's constant noise.
You just said that you don't do silence unless it's a bit. So can we just do a bit of silence right now? Like as a bit?
Sure, go on then. You choose when to talk next.
You think they've checked why we've gone quiet yet?
maybe. As long as I haven't cut. The thing is, I probably cut because I edit ahead. So I probably cut this out, and I'll have to go back and like add the silence.
Well, now I have to scream so that you know not to cut this.
No, but it doesn't. No, because I edit ahead, so like I cut it out before I get to listen to it. If that makes sense.
It's cooked. There's not going to be any pause. It's going to be the most awkward. Now I look like an idiot.
No, I'll make sure it's there. Don't worry. Or I won't. I think it might be funny if I just cut out the silent part. So you're like, oh, let's just have a bit of silence, and it just goes straight to you talking again.
Oh my god, damn it.
No. Okay, I'll keep the silence in. I won't do that to you. I won't make you look bad.
Thank you.
Do you? I was gonna ask, are you going to be joining any SMPs? But I can't let that just be a spoiler, so you can't even answer that.
It would be a spoiler.
I'm guessing you're going to be at the Rats SMP panel at TwitchCon, right? Not on it. I mean, like there in the audience.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you meant on it, and I was like,
no,
wait,
we've already
am I unaware of something?
No, we've already talked about it. It'd be really awkward if I just forgot that entire conversation and brought it back up. No, I mean, I'm guessing you're going to be there watching it, right?
Yeah, unless something, comes up. I like to leave my plans wide open, and I've learned the hard way that trying to force your schedule is a no-go. But I like sitting in panels, so probably, yeah.
I only have like free plans or like fixed plans for TwitchCon and the rest of it. Like I've told so many people, they're like, oh, I'm so busy during TwitchCon, which is like fine. They're not lying. I'm not saying, oh, how are you busy, blah blah. They are like, but like they're like, I'm so busy, like I've got so many plans and stuff. I'm like, wow, like all I've got planned is panel at 2:30 till 3:30 on a Saturday, MCC whatever time it is on a Sunday, and then I'm taking part like casting a football match on the Monday. Hopefully this all goes well now, because it'd be really awkward if this podcast comes out and like I didn't do all three. I am going to be, but point is like, and that's what I got planned. And like I remember someone turned around to me and I was like, oh, so are you like scheduling in times for these interviews? And I went, there is no way I am scheduling in 45 interviews.
Nah,
because as soon as I was in a course on earlier, and it's like as soon as one person goes, oh, I'm going to be late by 5 minutes, and they're like the 20th person, that ruins it for the other 25 plus people. So I'm just gonna pick up. Like if I see you walking, I'm just gonna scream at you. You're gonna jump and get scared. I'm gonna be like, it's me, Orbis. And you're like, oh my god, we literally talked at the start of the week. I don't want to see you again. And I went, okay.
No, it's not true.
You just run off. Just pretend you never heard. As soon as you hear the name Orbis, you're like, oh.
You're gonna be like, it's me, Orbis, and I'll be like, oh, do you want me to sign your badge?
I haven't got time for a pitch right now. Give me 5 minutes. No.
Where's the bathroom? Take a left.
Oh no, I know for a while where the toilet is at TwitchCon.
Did you have bowel movement problems last year?
I came in very, very hungover on the Sunday.
Oh, yeah. So, didn't we all?
Yeah, I had a big old fun night on Saturday. A little bit too much.
Yeah,
fun.
For me, it's the Saturday morning because partner party is just free drinks.
Yeah.
So.
Who are you going to TwitchCon with this year? I know, like, I'm assuming Derpy is one.
Why? I barely like the guy.
Yeah,
okay.
but he's there anyway, so you kind of have to put up with him. You're looking after him.
Nah, I mean, I'm sure he can take care of himself, right? Not like he doesn't know how to lock a door or open one.
Can we get the context
I want you to know.
Or no?
Sorry?
Can we get the context for the whole locked door bit?
So, I mean, you're British, so you'll probably get it. You know how some doors, you have to move the door handle up and then turn the key?
Yeah.
He's unfamiliar. He's baffled. He's Derpy in Pain, by the way. Great streamer. Fucking idiot.
A decent streamer.
Yeah. So the door at where we are, you have to like slam the door, which isn't normal, and then lock it. Because I was like, please lock the door when you leave. I don't like the idea of being by myself with an open door. So the cuts earlier, because he was basically just repeatedly slamming the door, and I could hear him not pulling the handle up. And then he came back in because he forgot something, and then did it all over again. And now he's gotten to the office to start his stream, and I've said to him, like, you need to figure this out. I can't help you. Like, I'm in a call with Orbits. Like, you've got to figure the door out by yourself or call someone else. Okay. 10 minutes later, how does this work? Hello? 3 pictures of 3 different doors. How does this work?
Oh my god.
Do they not have locked doors in America?
Like, okay, with my front door, like, you shut it, you pull the handle up, and then, like, you turn the key, and that's how you lock the door, and that's how it's, like, double locked.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually a good question. How do they lock doors in America, then?
I don't have a clue.
Well, to be fair, like, I do know one door, like, when I was staying somewhere in England, it was, like, a security door, so it was just you to just turn the key. You don't have to pull it up. But then, like, that's so rare. Like, maybe it's common in America, I guess. It's strange.
Well, let's hope he figures it out, because I ain't helping.
What's the office, by the way? I don't know how much you can share about it, but I've heard it so much. Like, people talk about it. What's the office?
Tubbo basically just has this like entire office building, which has a bunch of different, like it is massive. It's 2 different floors, and there's the music studio with like instruments, soundproof walls, and then there's the podcast room where they do Decks and Dancing, which is the Johnny and Tubbo like podcast radio show. And then there's like a woodworking room, which is like sometimes in use. And then on the upstairs, there's Tubbo's streaming room. There's a massive kitchen. There's the server room that play hosting runs on. There's the famous cupboard, which is where I was live the other day. And then there's the D&D set room. Like it is massive, and it's a really fun space. It's been really fun watching it kind of come to life from, you know, hearing Tubbo go from, oh, I'm doing viewings, to, ooh, I found one I really like, to, okay, I've got it, to, hey, do you want a tour even though it's under renovation, to then fast forward to now where it's the most colorful, vibrant, like creative spirit explosion everywhere. Building. So cool. It's really nice, but it's basically just, there's always someone there doing something, even if it's just making their lunch in the kitchen. So it is a really nice, you know, I think for us that live in Brighton, if you're ever like even just lonely, if we're being for real, if you're ever just like, I just want to see someone but I don't particularly feel like texting everyone I know, you could just pull up to the office, and if no one's there, sit there for 30 minutes and someone will show up. It's such a nice space, and I think we all really appreciate that we've been given it by Tubbo. So shout out Tubbo.
That's really nice, actually. Yeah, see, I've been to Brighton, like, I've only been once, actually. I don't live far. Like, it's just a train, like an hour train down. It's really easy to get to. And quite cheap as well. I've just never, like, been down there for, like, content purposes. But then again, I've only really kind of just joined this community. I say just joined. Like, I joined, like, April 2023. So I feel like I'm still part of kind of the fresh group, if that makes sense.
Right. Oh, you've been around ages. Come on now. Like, you've interviewed so many people.
Yeah, but, like, that's cool. It's sick. I don't know how I've done it, to be honest. I don't really, like, you know. Like, even with you, for example, like, I think I saw you join the Discord, the football Discord, and I, like, shot you a friend request, and then you accepted. I was like, oh, cool. That works.
Well, because I know InsideMC, because my friends have been on it, and, like, word gets around of such things, right? So when I saw my friend's request, I was like, okay, Orbit, I'll come on your show. Okay. Like, I knew immediately, to be fair.
I respect that, honestly.
But no, I was excited. I was like, yay, finally.
Hey, if anyone's listening to this, you can reach out to me too, you know. Like, I can't reach out. Yeah, okay, I'm picking up from what I just said. Even though Derpy and Payne isn't here anymore, we're going to blame them for the cut again. It's all their fault.
I'm for this. I'm so for this.
I was saying that yeah, people can reach out to me. Like, I've had, I think with the podcast, it's nice to hear you say that. Like, it's actually made me quite happy hearing that you were excited to come on. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Because I reach out to so many people, and so many cool people I have added, who we both have added. And, like, sadly, I don't always get a response, which is fine. But content creators are busy, especially full-time content creators. I know they have so much going on, and the people I've invited, I see them going all over and stuff like that. So, like, it has its little, like, low points where, like, you don't get a response, but then it very much is overtaken by these high points where, like, you said you saw my friend request. I was like, yeah, Orbit, okay. I was like, I didn't realize. I guess, like, I don't know, like, because InsideMC doesn't have loads of subscribers. Like, it always kind of shocks me how I've gotten so many cool guests on without InsideMC being this, like, massive major thing. So, like, when something like that happens, and, like you say, word of mouth is getting it around, and you knew as soon as I added you who I was, like, it was quite cool to hear. That's actually really the ego boost I needed.
Yeah, well, it's true. I mean, even if I wasn't, like, I think for me, it's because for someone that is a content creator, I don't use social media much. Like, I don't even have Twitter on my phone, or I have Twitter on my phone, but it's none of the accounts, or the account I'm logged into has nothing to do with Krowfang. Like, it's just like a like more personal account, so me and my friends can more privately kind of keep up with one another.
That's fair.
And I only open TikTok to, like, mog my camera every now and then, get some likes, and remind people that I exist. So I think it for me, it's definitely just, like, word of mouth via my friends, which I think you should give yourself a pat on the back that you've interviewed so many people that I know and so many people in the space that I now just like know of the show. Because that's pretty impressive.
I
think for clueless little me.
I just think the concept of people talking about it and talking about it like because I have partial imposter syndrome. It sucks. Like I don't have any reason to have it. I just have it, and it's so annoying. So like hearing that, like you talking about how like people have talked about it in a positive light. I don't know. It's kind of it's just like just want to thought about it, I guess. But it's cool. Regardless.
Yeah.
Okay, we have one more topic, unless there's something that you wanted to bring up that I haven't brought up, but we'll see after this one. We were talking about obviously the food at the start of the podcast and all that kind of jazz, and you mentioned how you used to live in Spain. Okay, I actually genuinely don't know the answer to this. Was Spain the country you were born in?
No.
Okay.
It's where I grew up though.
Okay, so how come you moved? I'll just let you go with the story and I'll ask questions if I have any.
Okay, I was born in England, like that's why I have a British passport, and it was so easy for me to just move to Brighton. But when I was 2, my family, my parents and my dad's parents moved to Spain and put a mortgage down and stuff, I think just in search of like nice weather and a better life. And they just tried to set up, like they did their best. I didn't grow up with much money, but like I was fed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Spain. I lived there from ages 2 to 18. So like my entire culture and upbringing was just very Spanish, because it wasn't the kind of, I don't know how to describe it. The area in which I grew up in, trying to not dox where I grew up, but it was very culturally heavy. So I feel the homesickness and the missing that like very intensely, because I've realized the UK, or at least Brighton, because I guess I can't speak for the entirety of the UK, there's that like soul isn't here. I don't feel the connection with food, with music, with dance. Like I don't really get it. Everyone here feels miserable and disconnected. So sometimes all I want to do is just listen to some good old Spanish music and cook some good old Spanish food and shake my booty to the tunes of my people. But yeah, it's where I grew up. And I miss it dearly. But life just didn't make sense to me to carry my life on there, I guess.
And that's why you ended up moving back to England?
Yeah, because I got the chance to move in with Owen's Juice TV, because Owen used to live with Akko in Brighton, and then Akko was moving away, so that space like opened up. And I can't remember if I've ever talked about this, but there was like a silent fight between me and one other content creator to get that spot with Owen, because we both went, I'll take it, at the same time. So Owen was saying like, if this guy goes for it, he's going to be the one to have it, but if he backs away, then you can move in. So there was a solid month where I was like, I don't know if I should pack my bags or not, because I don't know what this person's going to end up picking. And it was this weird crossing my fingers of like, please just stay where you are, please just stay where you are. So was the other person, this absolute silent, like not beef, but kind of, because I just wanted to move there so bad. And then I got the message from Owen of like, okay, you're all good, you can move here. And then I remember really vividly going into the living room where my parents were sat watching TV and being like, hey guys, so I'm gonna move to Brighton now. And they were like, what? Because I told them that in November, I moved to Brighton in March. So not insane amounts of time from, one to the other. And I was visiting New Year's anyway before knowing I was moving. So it all happened really quickly. I visited Brighton for the first time in October, and then immediately booked a flight again in December to visit for New Year's, and then moved in March. So you can tell that I very quickly fell in love.
Spain. Oh yeah, jeez.
Yeah, like I just literally spent one day here and was like, this is it. This is where I need to live. Like I need to be here. This is my home. And then I made it work. Yeah. And I owe so much to Owen, like as a person, as a colleague, all that. He really took me under his wing and showed me how the world works. Because I know we've been making fun of Derpy for not knowing how to lock a door, which is deserved, but I was really clueless when I first moved here, because it's so different going from small village in Spain to big British city. So
yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, it's all banner with Dapu. I, as far as I'm aware, none of us actually hate the dude. I hope not.
No, I mean,
they've been on the podcast, so I don't hate them.
Yeah, now that he's been on the podcast, you can say whatever you want about him. It's all done.
I actually have like do you know we've kind of been talking about how like we just relate in so much. There's another funny scenario where we relate again. So do you know, like you mentioned about like growing up, your parents like they provided well for you and stuff like that, but obviously they weren't like rich or whatever.
Yeah,
like, you kind of cross that line basically. It's similar with me. Like my mom and dad are in a good place now, but like when I was growing up, it's like we weren't like, I won't get into it too much. It's not really my story. So I'm talking about my parents as opposed to myself. Like it's not exactly like they were financially troubled, but at the same time, like they provided for me and my brother first before themselves, which I'm always just so like grateful and thankful for. Because like I don't know, they always made it work. Like if like there was always food on the table for me and my brother, even if sadly not for them, and it's just like made me respect them so much, and like I'm so grateful for it. So I think that's similar to what you were saying with the whole. I'm trying to keep quiet. I don't want to talk too much because like my walls are very thin and then they're like upstairs, so I don't want them getting.
You don't want them to know you love them.
Yeah, no, I don't want to feed their ego, you know. So, but yeah, the idea is still there. Also, I this isn't really relatable. I kind of half relatable this one. I'm kind of clutching at straws on this one, but we'll see. So do you know, like you said, it's really easy for you to move to like Britain because you have have the English passport.
Yeah.
So I don't have an English passport. I'm British born.
Oh.
I've lived here all my life. I have an Irish passport. So if I wanted to move to Europe, it'd be very, very easy for me. But my partner has a British passport, so it'd be very, very hard for her.
It just feels so wrong to me because I guess we should quickly clarify what I mean by that. Like, I feel so intensely connected to like the European, like I don't know, because in my soul, I'm Spanish, and I know that people will probably hear like British accent and me talking the way I do and being like, "You're a British person," but spending 16 years heavily influenced by culture. To then when I moved here, I only had a certain amount of time on my residency card before it would be like nullified, like, oh, you don't live here anymore, okay, we're going to take that from you. Spain is one of the countries that is still really, really strict about like no dual passports, like you're either here or you're not. Like they're very, very proud people, so you can't half-assedly be Spanish. So when I moved, it was a massive sacrifice for me, in the fact that I was like, if I ever want to move back there, it's going to be really fucking hard. Like they're not gonna, you know. So now when I go to different European countries, I'm like, I'm one of you guys, please, you've got to believe me. Like I recently went to Rome, and it kind of refreshed my brain of that I'm much more Spanish than I am British, because I ended up just speaking there's a language I speak called like Catalan, or like Catalan Valenciano, which is spoken in the region that I lived in, that is a lot like Italian. So I spoke like no English that trip and just communicated to these Italians in Catalan, which they loved because they thought I was British, because my friend that lives in Rome kept introducing me as like, oh, this is my British friend. And then I had to say to him, maybe stop saying the buzzword British, because they'll immediately groan and roll their eyes. I was like, let me cook. And when we started being able to communicate through the language barrier, because I spoke the languages I did that was so similar to Italian, I was like, you know what? The streets can say I'm British all they like. I know my truth. I've only in the past 2 years started understanding the British people. It's an interesting experience that I don't think anyone should be jealous of, with being born somewhere but being raised somewhere else, and then everyone questioning what you actually are. Like, I don't know. It's a deep topic, I guess, but
no, yeah, I get you.
You know, anyone listening, you are whatever you want to be. Okay, whatever you feel connected to.
Well, I'm just like grateful for my dad, because up until 2005, it stopped after 2005. Is if you're so my dad's Irish, so an Irish citizen, if they have a child, even if they weren't born in Ireland, up until 2005, they could get an Irish passport. I was born in 2003, so because of the financial stuff, all that kind of jazz, the only place we really traveled to was Ireland to see my dad's family. So they thought, to make life easier, why don't they just get me and my brother an Irish passport? My dad has an Irish passport and my mum has an English one. That way then my dad can just kind of get through easily with me and my brother, and then my mum can come through after. It just made life easier. I don't know the full story behind it. So ever since then I've just been like, I renewed this year. It cost me like €70 or something like that, whereas like an English passport to renew is like £90 to £100. And I've never like people said to me, and people said to me, why don't you get a British passport? I'm like, well, I have a birth certificate. I have my birth certificate. Like, and jobs hire Irish passport because there's some kind of like contract between Britain and Ireland or something. But I have a national insurance number. I'm born British. I have everything that I need to be. I just don't need an English passport. There's no reason for it. So
yeah, I don't know why you'd ever give away an Irish passport for a British one.
I can get both. I can get both.
Oh yeah, you can't get both.
But I don't need both. So
yeah. Then what the hell? Why pay for it?
Exactly. I don't know. It's just one of my biggest flexes whenever I'm talking to people. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, I can easily work in Europe if I want to. Like, I can easily go to Europe. Like, when I went to Paris,
really rubbing the salt in my wound.
When I went to Paris, oh no, okay, but it has its downsides though. Because again, sorry, I'm repeating myself. When we went to Paris, I went with my partner again, and it took me like, I instantly went through security, and I had to wait on the other side for like 45 minutes. So I'm like, yeah, it's cool. So I flew off to Germany on my own last year just so I could experience the passport. I was meeting a friend. It wasn't the only reason, but the main reason was just like experience.
I mean,
the passport.
that would be an insane flex. Oh yeah, I flew to Germany just to see how quick I could get past passport control.
But I mean, I got off on the other side. I mean, yeah, kind of, because I got off on the other side and I was messaging someone, right? I'm walking, and I nearly walk into like the internationals, like English, Asian, USA, all them passports, right? And I can see this massive queue, and I went, oh, and then I went, wait, and I just went into the other one which had no queue in it, and I was like, oh my god, this is scenes. So
I'm so jealous, because when I had my residency card, I could do like a similar thing that's basically cutting the queue because you're a European resident.
Yeah.
Even if you have a British passport, you can just slide your residency card instead, and they'd be like, oh, okay, you're European, it's fine. But obviously all that's a bit weird.
Life is strange. Oh wait, that's a game.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I love the Krowfang InsideMC episode where we go from like cuisine to Minecraft lore to passport control. I think this is a very me, like the jumping of topics.
What happens when you put two yappers in the same room?
And barely any of it being about like Minecraft is so me.
But I mean, like it's cool. Like you make Minecraft content.
It is.
But I'm interviewing you. I'm not interviewing your content. So
yeah.
Oh, we can yap about
that's a good way to put it.
I honestly like I bring the person on podcast. I have topics wherever it goes. You know. So and I'm pretty happy with the direction it went. So. We do have some Twitter questions. Before we go on to the Twitter questions, do you have anything else that you wanted to talk about that we might not have mentioned, or have we pretty much covered everything?
I'm good. I mean, we've covered everything.
Nice.
What else is there to say?
So
for these questions.
We have two Twitter questions because I'm not fucking asking Derpy and Payne's question. I don't know if you've seen it. Don't if you know what he said. Okay, I'll let you. I'm not asking that question.
I'm so sorry I haven't boosted the tweet. I'm actually horrible for that. I'm not logged into Twitter on my phone.
It's fine. Don't worry. Hey. It did well. 150
Well, I promoted
likes.
it on my stream. I talked about it on my stream. I hope that did something.
I believe it did. Well, I mean, you know, people retweet it. It got 10 retweets, 115 likes. So it did well. Did well for a guest announcement. So,
hell yeah.
First question comes from Hype26. And we've kind of touched on this, but I think they're asking in more of a broad sense than a specific sense. So it could lead to a different answer. What have you made that you were the most proud of?
Ooh, damn. Proud. I think a lot of it, if we're looking past the clothing side of things here, which I kind of will because I struggle to rate the clothes that I make because they're all so different. And we're looking at more of the storytelling side of things. I think, again, my Pirates SMP POV I'm really proud of, and there's a final animatic in my Pirates SMP finale that is like 10 minutes long, and it's completely voice acted, animated. Like my artist basically hands me still frames and I open After Effects and just go insane, and like I'm so picky with music and sound effects, and it's all done by me. And I think every time I watch that back, I just go, wow, literally, how did I do this in 3 days? The deadlines were so crazy for that animatic. Every time I watch it, I'm just like, hell yeah, go you. So that, and then also I wrote a short story prequel-esque thing for my D&D No Dice character, Stripe, of who he was before joining the party and more about his backstory and his, No Dice spoilers, season 1, I guess, but that character dies in the finale in a very, like, sad, dramatic way that I think was so perfect for the story. I'm so happy he died, which is so weird because it's my character, but I'm quite proud of myself that I started and finished and published that, because I'm really bad at starting things and then they never happen for many reasons. I'm very good at starting and never finishing things. So I think I'm proud of the fact that I had no need to write that story. Like, I wasn't in any contracts. No one was really asking for it. It was something that I just said, I really want to do this. I think it'd be interesting. And I've never tried to sell writing before. And I sat and I worked on it for hours and hours and hours and hours, because it's thousands and thousands of words. There's a map, there's a cover, there's a fucking audiobook of it with music and sound effects and me narrating the whole thing. Like, I just think back to how I made that bundle completely from scratch. I'm really proud of that. I think I'm prouder. You know what? Screw it. I'm much prouder of that than I am the animatics, just because of how much effort went into it. And that everybody asked me to do that. I just wanted to do it. And so I did it. And it did really well.
You locked in.
I locked in.
That's sick. I love that. That's really cool. That's a good answer. The problem with the Twitter questions is I just asked them, but I don't want to build on them because they're not my questions. so it's like, oh yeah, cool answer. And then we just go next. And then the final one is from Pablo. If Fishing Trio was to suddenly become a worldwide touring music band, who would take what role slash instrument and why?
Okay.
Firstly, for anyone listening, who is on Fishing Trio?
Okay, so... Oh my god, right. So on the Realm SMP, me and Amy, or AMZ, always have really strange bits whenever we're in a project together. Like, we just end up with the most you just simply had to be there kind of bits. I don't have this with anyone else. So we were fishing one day, we were grinding the fishing skill on the Realm, and I was really sleep deprived because I think I was like mid Crowathon, so just the subathon craze, and me and AMZ were fishing, and then there are these keepers on the Realm, which are just admin controlled, like NPC creepy characters, like hooded figures that kind of police what's happening. So while we were fishing, the keeper joined us and non-canonically, jokingly joined in, and we were like, oh my god, Fishing Trio! And then the admin, I guess, was like, okay, I'm going to stop joking about this now before people think it's canon, and then disappeared. So from that, this sounds so insane. What the hell is this server? Me and Amy have Fishing Trio, but the third spot is always open. Like, it's me and Amy plus whoever else. Okay. So if we're fishing and someone else shows up, it's Fishing Trio.
Cool, yeah.
Even if it's, like, an animal.
Okay.
So it's hard to label the third member, because who are they? So we're going to go with the original keeper. Well, you know what, Orbits? Do you want to be the third member of Fishing Trio in this situation?
I'd be honoured.
Okay, congratulations. You're the current third member of Fishing Trio.
I'm into the realm! Finally! I used to pray for times like this. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna be the drummer, because that's you know what? I'm gonna play the flute. I changed my mind. I'm gonna play the flute.
Okay, cool, yeah.
AMZ's lore is so angsty that I'm gonna throw them as the vocalist, because it's very singing in the rain, like upset. And then I'm seeing your design, your little guy design, and you have the little what do you call it? Like a ring around the planet, right?
Yeah, that wasn't even like original. It's just that wasn't even the original idea. Just someone made it. I was like, oh, I fuck with that. So
because I think if you grabbed a violin, like handle string thing, you could play it like it's a string instrument. You could play the ring of your planet like a string instrument.
Wait, that's fire.
So you can be the violinist.
I had something completely different in mind, but that's sick. No, I read that.
What did you want to be? I'm not gonna.
Well, no, it's not that I really want to be. I'm just kind of I'm only really talented enough to do like the triangle or something. And even then, I don't think I'm that talented. So.
And I gave you one of the hardest instruments on the planet instead of the triangle.
Hey, look, you know what? I'll take it. I don't mind. I
guess you could also, give it a little ding like a triangle, but I don't think the sound would work.
And then like when like we finish our act, no matter what the song is, I can just like start smashing it like it's a rock concert. So like,
I feel like that would hurt.
Probably would, but it'd be fine. It'd be fine. Anyways, with that being said, that sadly brings the end of this week's Inside MC. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much.
It's been so fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Before I do the outro though, I always like to give this opportunity for you to promote yourself. So for anyone who's been listening and thinks Krowfang is very, very cool, how and where can people find you?
Oh my goodness me. Well, I'm just Krowfang on Twitch. If you want to come hang out, I mostly do just chatting. So if you like me chatting like we've been doing, you can come do this with me on Twitch. I have like a Patreon, so if you're more interested in like my makeup and my style, that's all kind of on there. And if you like the idea of getting some clothes made, I also do commissions and I sell some stuff on like my Etsy and all that. So honestly, you want to see everything, krowfang.com, okay? I don't pay for that shit yearly for no one to use it, all right?
Yeah.
So krowfang.com, okay? Took me ages to make that. I have no web making experience. Coded from scratch, by the way. Thanks, everyone. Okay. And yeah, just keep an eye out because I might make something eventually.
Well, I mean, you recently had an auction happening, though? Like, you say eventually. Didn't you have one like 2 months ago? Or, like, literally, no, like about 2 or 3 weeks ago? I could have sworn you had an auction up. Yeah. The trousers, the cargo trousers you made, no?
Oh, the red hoodie, the round hoodie. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, so...
You occasionally do
every now
auctions,
and then. And then I also have a collaboration with AIMSy coming up. Unfortunately, both me and AIMSy are immunocompromised, so if I'm not sick, they're sick. So it will come out eventually when the stars align and both of us are not sick.
Yeah.
So if you're an AIMSy enjoyer, that's something to be excited about. Yeah. I mean, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I also open commissions sometimes. That's about it.
Its name's in the title. Search up on Google, you'll find it. And
thanks, Orbits, and shout out InsideMC.
Yeah.
Best podcast I've ever been on.
Aw, thank you so much.
Yes.
Well, this has been InsideMC. Thank you all for listening. Stay safe. Don't eat too much bread. Pieces.
Bye.